What's up, everybody? I'm Bree.
And I'm Evan.
And this is Reality Check TV.
We never left.
Welcome back. And if you are new to our channel, welcome to our channel. Here's where we discuss some of our favorite reality shows to watch together as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
So if you love reality shows like we do, make sure to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell so you can get notified anytime we post a new review.
In all caps, expeditiously.
He does this every video. All right, guys. So we are back for the fourth week
Episode
of Summer House Martha's Vineyard.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into it.
So this episode started out with where they left off with everyone in the living room questioning Nick on his newfound girlfriend that everybody just found out about. And the issue is Nick has been in everybody's DMs, including the wiener dog Bria has. And
like what?
And it's like, dude, you had a girlfriend the whole time? Like, you said to Shanice that you were gonna marry her. I don't know why you're in Bria's DMs. Dude, like, have you not seen her recently on camera? Oh my gosh.
No, he hasn't seen her on camera.
Well,
this is
has she
one.
been walking around that house looking like, Addams Family? Something from there. Hair not done, man. But you've been in everybody's DMs, but you have a girlfriend. What's his girlfriend's name again?
He said that his girlfriend's name is Tasia, and they have been dating for a year and a half.
And I know he said they're pretty private.
She wants to be private.
Yeah. And they do not post each other on social media.
Yeah.
But dang, Nick, everybody's DMs. I understand you guys are trying to have a private relationship, but dude.
Having a private relationship, but then also being in other women's DMs have nothing to do with each other.
No, I'm just saying, he talks about, I respect her privacy. No, you don't, because look what you're doing.
Right.
Of course, she doesn't know that, but I'm just saying, you're not respecting it, because look what you're doing.
But this is going to air. So I once again, I don't understand. I don't understand the rationale. I don't get where you're coming from, because you say that you're in this relationship, this girl wants to be private. I'm going to make assumptions here, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to assume that you sign up for the show. She's like, I want no parts of that. That's not the type of publicity I want. Right. So I don't, like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Right. But leave me out of it. Mm-hmm. So he said that she doesn't want to be posted on social media, on each other's social media, so they don't do that. Right. And it seems like he feels the same way. And like I said, they've been together for a year and a half. So I think that that's probably where she was coming from, meaning the girlfriend. But Nick, being a man, he is going along with it and saying, "Oh yeah, let's be private with our relationship." And meanwhile, he's also like, "Oh, this is great." So she doesn't want to be posted, so I can really be out on social media wilding. You get on the show, and it's kind of like, now you exposed who she is, and now this is like really embarrassing for her, I would imagine, because you've been keeping her a secret. It's been the topic of conversation for 2 episodes straight now. So which one is worse? Like, you now are going completely against what she supposedly wanted, and that was to remain private. Right. So you exposed her and you embarrassed her. That's sweet. Okay.
So later on in the episode, the housemates have a dinner outside, and which was kind of awkward because everybody was sitting in silence, and there was a huge elephant in the room that, of course, Jasmine wanted to address. She kind of felt, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if she felt fooled or she felt misguided, but she talked about wanting to be Nick's wingman in the house. I guess because she wanted to hook him up with one of her friends in the house. But her just finding out that he had a girlfriend, it kind of threw her in a loop. And it kind of threw everybody else in a loop because it was just an awkward dinner in the beginning because people are just not knowing how to take that, because knowing how it's been broadcast that he's been in everybody's DMs, and they're just like, dude, like, why'd you withhold this information? I did think it was interesting because Alex did come out and say that he did know about Nick's relationship, but he did not know the seriousness of it. And me taking that, I'm taking that as you just telling me that you may deal with this person. You didn't tell me you serious on it, like you in a relationship.
You said it made a deal?
Like you deal with this person. There's a difference between dealing with somebody and being in a relationship.
Oh, meaning Nick is dealing with the girl.
Yeah, and Alex being, that's his line brother.
Mm-hmm.
He may have took it as certain things Nick may have said behind the scenes. That's like, oh, this ain't serious. They just dealing.
Yeah,
but for Nick to say that for Nick to say that to everybody else that, oh, he's in a relationship, he has a girlfriend, it threw Alex in the loop too, because it's like I didn't see it like that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't care about this storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care. I kind of already know what's going on here. I do believe that he is in a relationship with this Tasia or Tanisha or whatever the woman's name is. I think that they are in a relationship and he's cheating. Like, okay. I also think that he is bisexual. I'm still holding on to that one. I still think that he is bi.
Well, yeah, because Alex said that interesting comment about the truth about his intellectual abilities. That which I feel that's what he's alluding to.
Yeah.
But I also feel too like if Jordan would have gave Nick play, he either was not going to tell her he had a girlfriend, or he would have left his girlfriend for Jordan.
I don't know. I think he just would have cheated. I think he just wants. I mean,
yeah, that's what I allude to. Say he was gonna get Jordan, but not tell her he had a girlfriend, or he would have left his girlfriend for Jordan.
I don't know, but I don't really care. They were going back and forth at this dinner, talking about it, and it was awkward because it's like, Nick, you can't justify this. He claims that he never told Jordan, or she never told Shanice that he wanted to marry her, or that she was going to be his wife. He said that never happened. But everybody's claiming that this was in the DMs. Right. So I also felt like, okay, well, if it is true, if he did say it, I am confused about why they didn't bring up that DM, because they brought up all the others. Like, but they made a comment too.
They made a comment too at a function that Jasmine had. That he
verbally said it. Right. So they did meet each other before actually coming to Martha's Vineyard. So, yeah, I mean, I believe he said that. He's giving that. And I just believe that he's just cheating. Like, it is what it is. And again, all you did was embarrass the girlfriend that said that she doesn't want to be a part of this.
And yourself.
And, yeah, it's unfortunate because I was going to like Nick, but I don't do cheaters. So the next day, Shanice is getting ready to leave. She mentioned this when she first got into the house, that she wouldn't be staying during the week and that she was only able to be on Martha's Vineyard over the weekends. I mean, she started a new job, sales position, and she said that she's trying to prove herself with her company. So therefore, she has to go back home and will be coming next weekend. She did mention how she is upset because she wasn't able to hook up with anybody yet. But she said it's always next weekend. And I'm like, okay, girl, yes. Stay on the whole mission. So then the guys decide that they are going to work out in the backyard. And the ladies are going to go ahead and take a walk and just gossip and talk, This is when the conversation comes back up about the conversation the night before about the whole buying drinks stuff. So Silas brings it up. He asked the guys, he's like, what do you guys think about what we talked about last night with this whole buying drinks for women or the ladies that you're dating? And all of the guys seem to be on the right side of history here for the most part. They're kind of like, they don't understand what the problem is. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. I really don't. And Nick was really the one that was more vocal, because he was just kind of like, it just kind of feels like you are trying to just control or have full control over Jasmine in the situation. And we learned that Nick was raised by a single mother. And so he's like, I am used to women being able to take care of themselves or protect themselves in the grand scheme of things, right? And so he's like, I'm just like, I don't understand this whole thing of this man has to be this knight in shining armor and protect the woman, and right, like she's not able to look out for herself. And he reminds Silas like, hey, this is her friend group and they were tight before you even came into the picture. And so I think it would be dangerous for you to try to go ahead and like insert yourself into their situation. Like, they got each other's back. Like, you should just trust Jasmine. Like, trust the decisions that she makes and just trust that she can protect herself. And that's not saying that as her husband or as a husband, right? This is for anybody, that you are not able to protect your woman. I'm not saying that. It's just the way that you do things, right? And I feel like this whole conversation around I have to be your guard at all time. Like, you can't be out at this, you have to be in the house by this particular time, even before they got married. And him having issues with that and him having issues with who she's hanging out with. Again, I'm just going to reiterate what we said in our last video. These are conversations that you guys should have had before you got married, one. And then two, I don't understand that. Like, you should trust me when I'm going out to make the right decisions and be able to be aware of my surroundings and what's going on. And that's where it should just stop. Like, we're not going to be together 24/7. Like, I have a life that's out, separate from my relationship. Like, I can go out with my friends. I can go out by myself, even if it's to the store. Like, you have to be able to trust me. And I feel like there's a lack of trust where Silas is coming from.
Yeah, most definitely. It's the insecurities he has.
Yeah.
And it's continuing to show up every episode.
Right. More like little by little, right? But I do appreciate the guys challenging each other on this type of on these type of topics, right? Like, we don't see this happening enough amongst men, and so I appreciated that. Like, I'm glad all the men weren't thinking one way, is what I'm saying, right?
Right.
So the conversation continues with Nick and Silas playing beer pong. I think that's beer pong, right?
Beer pong.
I don't play beer pong, but Nick asks Silas if he thinks that he's controlling, right? Like Nick was basically like, "Can I ask you a question?" And we can kind of go from here. Do you think that you are controlling in your relationship? Silas says it may seem that way, but he's really just trying to plan things out and make sure that things are right. And like, he keeps saying how Jasmine is independent, like she handles a lot of our schedules and planning, and I just make sure that things are going the right way, type of thing.
Yeah. And sometimes he needs to learn to be hands off for certain things. You can't control everything. You can't dictate everything. Jasmine is grown. Jasmine makes her own decisions. Like Nick even said previously, like, she was functioning before you. She's going to function after you. So Silas needs to learn that he can't save the day every day.
Because Nick said that too, right? Nick was like, he said, and I didn't write it down, but he said something like, once Silas answered the question, he then said, well, do you think that is not hurting Jasmine?
No, it's taking away her abilities to, by him doing that, he's taking away her coping and her surviving abilities because he feels like he needs to do it.
Right.
And, and like I said, Silas, that's a conversation they need to have, but Silas, I feel like that's a personal thing with him. And I don't know if it's a cultural aspect. And, some people don't like to believe it, but the military plays a role too. How they shape you a little bit, and sometimes you bring that military stuff to your personal life.
That's a good point. Because I thought you was gonna bring up that because he's also African.
Nigerian? Cultural, Liberian. So like I said, it could be cultural. I think it's a mix of cultural and military.
Yeah, but it's definitely going to be an issue. Yeah. It is going to continue to be an issue, and like we just said, every episode we're starting to learn a little bit more and more, not only about his controlling ways, but I think Jasmine's immature ways, and then also the fact that they don't really know each other.
Right. And Silas did end with that conversation with Nick saying that he's not taking advice from a guy who has a secret girlfriend, But I think we've all come to find out that Silas only listens to Silas. Nick didn't have to be the first one to challenge it. It's really Silas listens to Silas.
Yeah.
And that's something that's been shown every episode, and I'm pretty sure it's going to continue to show up.
Mm. So the day just kind of continues. Just a couple of unimportant things. We find out that Nick can't swim. Like I said, Bree is walking around just talking about Simon. We don't care. They have their dinner outside. That's what we were talking about with the Nick. That's when they put him in the hot seat.
And Nick was on the whole spotlight was on Nick the whole dinner.
Right. So there was nothing that really came from that. So then everyone decides to go to bed. Everybody's, turning the lights out, and we see a quick interaction between Bria and Jasmine. Bria's texting Jasmine while they're all in their rooms, and she's just, once again, oh, I can't wait for you to meet Simon. And so I guess Silas sees the text message from Bria, and he says, so did you okay this? Like, when did this happen? Like, did you confirm that he can stay here
that long?
That long, right? Because that's the big point, right? Because Jasmine's stance is him coming, I guess, at all. Like, she's acting like the conversation that Bria had with them at the bowling alley 2 episodes ago never happened, right?
This body did it.
But Silas is saying more of, he can come, but for him to be staying a whole week and we haven't ran this through the whole house, he feels like now it's another boundary being crossed. Like, we already accepted this damn dog. Now we have this man coming, and I just feel like she's taking advantage at this point. So he's like, there needs to be a conversation. So Jasmine says, I'll talk to her tomorrow. So the next day, everyone is planning to go fishing, right? This looks like this was Amari's idea because they're going to do a fish fry later that night. So Bria and Jasmine have a conversation about the Simon situation. And Jasmine tells her, like, she needs to run this by the house, meaning Jasmine wants to run it by the house. Just make sure that everybody's comfortable. And I didn't like the way the conversation started off because Jasmine, once again, wasn't being direct enough for me. Because your husband already told you, like, he's not really with it. And I'm assuming that there's also rumblings around the house of other people not really feeling the idea of him being there for a full week. And so instead of just being very direct with that, she's still kind of playing into it as like, oh, okay, so like, when is he coming? What time? Okay, so he's coming at this time. What day? Oh, okay. Yeah, like, I know you're excited. Yeah, we can't wait to meet him. I'm going to just run it by the house, and just get clearance on that. Just make sure everybody's comfortable, right? I could see what she was doing, but my thing is, we're now, 7 days in, I think. At this point, this girl mentioned it to you days before. Just be very direct about it because he is coming from a different country. So you do kind of want to be considerate of that, even though y'all know I don't like Bria and she's never considerate, so I can kind of feel like, I don't really care. But just be direct. That's my thing. Jasmine's just not direct enough. Because in her confessional, she talking big money shit. Like, oh, she ain't never said that to me. He can't come. Don't nobody want him here type of thing. And I'm like, well, again.
Yeah, you do.
Be consistent with your energy.
Right.
Like, just be consistent. So the conversation don't really go anywhere because nothing was really established in that conversation to me.
Jasmine's all over the place with her words.
Yeah.
She needs to be more consistent.
Right. Okay, so Bria then FaceTime Shanice. I don't like either one of these girls. But Bria ends up telling Shanice that Alex, it's Alex, right? Alex. Yes, okay. Y'all know I get them mixed up. But Alex had a conversation with her and the rest of the house members. And it seems like he told her that he found out about Shanice being a stalker, basically. And it was hilarious to me because Shanice's response was, oh my God, like, I never been on vacation with people wanting to have so many deep conversations. I'm like, girl, that's your response? That's how I know you did it. That's how I know you a stalker. That's how I know she crazy. Because that was her response. It was nothing else but that. So then she just goes into, well, I've had my monthly sex for, the month, so I'm good. So I'm coming back. She was like, I'm hoping that somebody else comes in the house that I can have sex with.
Shanice, I'm glad you're just there for the weekends, man. We're trying to save you. I'm glad you're just there for the weekends.
Wow. Girl. Okay, there's no shame. Don't be ashamed. You single. You want to be a hoe. That's fine. That's fine, girl. Do you. So the crew goes fishing. Once they come back home, Summer arrives. Summer is Jasmine's friend. And she's a screenwriter, and they actually met at Sundance. I will say, just a little caveat, I love that there's so many creatives in the house. Like, I love it. There's writers, photographers. Jasmine is a screenwriter herself. So I love that. Summer looks cool. She's a pretty girl. All the guys, well, not all the guys, but Alex and Nick in particular, they say that she looks like Hillary Banks. Like, she's giving that vibe. I don't think she looks like Hillary Banks, but she's a cute girl, but sure. Silas and Preston tell the group that they want to have a college night. So they're going to have a toga party. I went to a HBCU. I only know things about HBCUs. I've never been to a toga party. Evan had to tell me that they have toga parties at HBCUs. I didn't go to one. I don't know if this to be true, but okay, sure.
We did.
Sure, right? So, but I don't know nothing about them. I felt like that was predominantly at PWIs, but they're having a toga party. And Silas says that they are going to do fraternity against fraternity. So there's going to be an alpha team and a Kappa team. And y'all know Nick and Alex are Kappas, and Preston and Silas are the Alphas. I'll let you take this one since this seems like your wheelhouse.
it made no sense. To be honest with you, like, it made no sense. Like, there's only, 4 people in the house?
It's only been 4.
Yeah, so my thing is, I felt, one thing about Silas I'm learning is Silas is really just alpha spirit. Like, he's just really into it. And, it's just like, it made no sense. Like,
not the alpha spirit.
Not everybody's in an organization. The girls can't be alphas and kappas. Like, what are you talking about? I just feel like Silas does too much sometimes.
Well, wait, so before he started taking it too serious, Jordan says that, first she says that she feels like she's being disloyal because she has a horseshoe tattoo. She comes from a line of Omegas. And if y'all know anything about Greek life, we gonna assume that you know everything about Greek life. She comes from a long line of Qs. I never heard of a woman having a Omega tattoo.
Me either. That's a little extra.
I ain't never heard that. I mean,
but that was for her grandfather?
She said her grandfather and her dad were both Qs, and so she has their initials with a horseshoe.
Well, and that may be special for them in whatever sense. We don't know, like, how she grew up, like, what they had her around and activities they had her around. But
I just never heard of it. I mean, it's no judgment. I never heard of that. I was like, wow, you are like really committed.
But the whole thing about the team stuff, it's weird, it's odd, and Silas is just doing too much. He doing too much. So y'all don't think too much into that. That was weird.
Yeah.
I've never seen nobody do that crap.
What, the tattoo?
No, I'm just talking about the teams. Like,
nobody because then Jordan also mentioned, she's like, well, not everybody's in Greek, right. So how about we do college versus college, I guess? We still have not established what college everybody went to.
Unless there were 2 colleges out of everybody.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
I doubt they can do that, but they just should have done red versus blue or something like that. Like, why you gotta go that far talking about, alphas versus kappas? Just do like red against green. I don't know.
I don't know what
it could all be so simple, but you can't do that with Silas. Right. Next.
But when Jordan mentioned the whole let's do this idea instead, Silas mentions how, he's trying to keep the integrity of, I guess, the fraternity.
Don't know what that means.
I don't understand what he meant by that. But bringing this up because Summer was like, well, I got kicked out of my sorority. It's clear she went to a PWI because she said alpha something I don't know that. I don't know that sorority.
It's a mixed cultural one, probably.
You knew of that sorority that you're talking about?
No, I'm saying it's probably a mixed cultural one.
It was a white girl sorority.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, not mixed culture. It was a white girl sorority. Yeah. And she said she was kicked out of it. And when Silas brings up again them doing the fraternity versus fraternity teams, she was like, well, that seems sexist. And I was just like, okay, sure. I was like, everybody's taking this way too serious.
I was over that scene.
I was over the scene too. I'm not in Greek, so anytime there's conversations about Greek life, I kind of just exit stage left. I'm not going to tell y'all how to feel because everybody takes it real serious. So there we go. So this is perfect time to get some more new male energy in the house. So we have Jason. Mm-hmm. Jason is Jasmine's old roommate. They used to live together in New York. Jason is cute. He giving that light skin, like, what is it? Blue eyes or green eyes. He's giving that, but he seems like he's really, really good energy. I instantly liked the energy that Jason was bringing into the house. It's completely different from Phil. He just seems more positive and funny and just like a good time. Mm-hmm. But it was a little something that was thrown in there. I was like, okay, this is about to get entertaining. So Jason is a heterosexual man that is not bad on the eyes to some people. He's not my type, but he's a good looking man, right? And charismatic, everything. He used to live with Jasmine. So it seems like they are close. And I don't know if Silas gonna feel away. Clearly, Silas hasn't been around Jason too often, but he did say he was like, he wants the chance to get to know him. Mm-hmm. And Jason was like, with me being a heterosexual man and living with, a straight woman, people would just assume that we were intimate at mm-hmm. one point. But he was like, I'm just trying to make, everybody feel comfortable. But it's gonna be interesting in that dynamic.
I don't know. I kind of do believe Silas when he said that he wants to get to know Jason and figure out, find out why their friendship is so strong. I feel like he's genuine when he says that. Like he really wants to, I guess embrace him.
I'm going to say this. Silas he comes off as the type of man that when he said, I want to find out why they're so close, based off of what we know about Silas so far, I think it's going to be a problem. I do think it's going to be So while they're in the kitchen preparing the food for the fish fry plus their toga party, Bria and Silas step outside by the pool to have a conversation. And Silas expresses his concern of the comfortability of everybody in the house and just the fact that this is yet again a situation that Bria says what she's going to do and she's telling them what she's doing despite having a conversation or asking everybody else in the house. And Silas mentions, we love Milo, we accepted that situation, but this seems like another thing where we all have to just kind of go along with what you want to do. Basically is what he's saying. Mm-hmm. And Bria white woman's the hell out of this situation. Bria is a nightmare. She's really a nightmare. She's the type of woman I don't even want to be associated with because she's very dangerous. She's manipulative. She is she gaslit this whole conversation because she then turns it and says that it seems like you don't want him here because he's a white man. I said, not you doing this on this white network. Not you doing this on this white network. I mean, I don't even know if I like Silas. He's still on my list. But for you to do this to this man on this white network, you know what you are doing. Why are you even going there? Because they had a private conversation, it seems like, in the van probably nights before. And Silas made a comment about like how he roots for families and marriage, especially Black families and marriages, because that's how he was raised. He comes from a Black African family and cultures and traditions is important to him. And he was like, he's always rooting just for marriage, period, right? And she took that conversation and then made it seem like he was saying he wants only black women and black men to be together.
Right.
And even if he did, and what? And what? But you know what you're doing because you're doing this on TV, on Bravo. This is like, and I'm gonna keep it cute because we on YouTube. But you already know, like, I was just like, I know what the hell she's doing right now. Mm-hmm. And it was pissing me off. And Jasmine walked outside, of course, to, you know, be a part of the conversation. She's like, okay, you're having a one-on-one. She's having a one-on-one with my husband. Like, I also want to be involved. And Silas instantly took offense to it because he was like, so are you trying to say, like, I'm racist? Which, Silas, I hate also when black people talk about them being racist. Black people can't be racist. She's trying to accuse you of being prejudiced. That's what she's doing. And so he got really offended by it. He was like, you know, me out of all people, like, I fought next to white men, Hispanic men from all over the country, all over the world, no matter the race. Like, why are you accusing me of that? That's not where I'm coming from at all. She gets loud and starts acting like she's about to cry instead that she's being attacked. She turned into a white woman very fast. And again, that type of energy is very dangerous to be around. The way she manipulated and turned that conversation. And Jasmine's a good one because she's always she's made it clear she's going to stick up for her husband now. And she did. But we no longer friends. When you pull that, we are no longer friends because I see what you're trying to do. And that's dangerous. And she knows what she's doing. And that's why she said what she said. Because the conversation was about that, once again, you not considering other people in the house. And you thinking you can get away with whatever you want to get away with. She's a nightmare. Why do you have friends? I don't understand it. Like, no. It's a no.
I don't see her being there to the end.
I hope they kick her out.
I don't see Bria being there to the end.
I hope they kick her out. She's dangerous.
She's going to either drive people crazy or she's going to drive herself crazy. I never seen somebody like Bria.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as she pulled that card, I would have been like, oh, girl, goodbye. I would have went in the house, locked the door. She got to go. I feel like my life is in danger because that's the type of game she's playing. Dangerous.
I know that dog wants to resign from his position.
And it ain't giving much emotional support because she is unstable.
No, he wants to quit.
And she's so quick to talk about how she gets attacked, but she be the main one yelling and being aggressive anytime that somebody tries to have a conversation with her. She did it with Jasmine and Mariah when they had the conversation with her the first night about Milo. She did it with Mariah multiple times, specifically the infamous issue with the laundry. And then now she's doing it again. She's constantly the aggressor and then wants to cry and say that she's being attacked. You tell me that's not a Karen. You tell me. You tell me. So everyone gets into their toga gear. We need to have a toga party because I've never experienced it. I don't even know what that's like. What do you do? Just put sheets on yourself?
Put sheets on and drink.
Okay.
And play drinking games.
Okay, I actually don't want to have a toga party. It looks boring. I don't want to do that. I changed my mind. So it seems like everybody's having fun. Everybody's eating, drinking. They start playing their games. And everybody's downstairs except for Bria because, you know, she needs attention. That's another thing. She's attention seeking. So she's in her room cursing, throwing stuff, acting like she's packing. Saying that she's so tired of being disrespected, whatever. Silas goes upstairs to have a conversation with her. He tells the group or tells Jasmine that he's going to go to the bathroom, but he's really going to go to have a conversation with Bria. So he comes into the room. He's like, Bria, like, I think he said, like, you know, we don't want you to leave. Like, I was just trying to have a conversation with you.
Right.
And again, he's, you know, not yelling at her. And she is just going off. She's like, I'm tired of being disrespected. I'm not going to do that anymore. Like, I'm always being attacked. I'm being attacked. And he's like, you know what? Like, you're very manipulative. Mm-hmm. You just are. And I'm glad that he said it because she is. And she goes on her white woman rant. And she's just like, like F you and all of this other stuff, and like if I'm manipulative, you're controlling. Like before she even gets there, she goes on her rant and she says, I have Milo. Milo's not gonna get me off. She's talking about the dog. She said we have to listen to you and Jasmine fucking every night. And I was just like, girl, this woman is crazy. She's crazy. She's like, I'm listening to you guys have sex every night, but I can't get mine. And I was like, so that's really what the issue is, girl? And then that's when she was like, if I'm manipulative, you're controlling. Mm-hmm. And so Silas is walking away at this point. He was just like, like you're doing a lot. You are manipulative. And he's walking down the stairs and she's just cussing and yelling at him as he's going down the stairs. And the episode goes off with Jasmine running up.
Mm-hmm. Trying to figure out what the hell going on.
Right.
Bria, like I said, I know she knows the cameras are around. Bria, you're not going to get a spinoff. I like to say that about everybody who likes to act up. You're not getting a spinoff. I'll be honest, don't nobody care about checking this dude that's coming from Germany. I don't think they really care. Yes, she did talk to Silas and Jasmine prior about this. And I know it's kind of tricky because he's coming from Germany and she's feeling like y'all not
prior when, like you mean like before the trip?
No.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, I was about to say it wasn't before the trip.
But I'm just saying, I know I know she's human. She's around hearing Silas and Jasmine have sex. She's in a relationship. She wants her dude to come. I know it's a tricky situation because he's coming from outside the country. But Bria goes about things the wrong way every time something happens. And it's pow, pow, cry. It's my party, cry if I want to ordeal. And it's like...
And she's very aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, I want to use that word with her. She's very aggressive.
Yeah. And I'm very curious to see how the show is ending and how Jasmine's about to go upstairs and what she does when she gets upstairs. I want to see, does she take up for Silas? Is she neutral? Or is she on Bria's side? I want to see her reaction when she gets up those stairs.
How would you handle it as a man having it? Because this is what I mean by being very dangerous, especially the times that we live in today. How the conversation was going between Silas and Bria, right? A man and a woman. And she kept saying how he was being aggressive and like being disrespectful to her.
I mean, I'll stop you there. There will never be a time where it's just us two.
You're right. No. Because I'm flipping stuff over.
No, it'll never be just us two. We're going to have people there if we need to. I'm not going to subject myself to being isolated with you so you can say something that did not happen.
Right.
Because it's only stories from two different people.
Right.
So I'm cutting that before that happens.
Yeah,
we'll make sure we have people around.
All you need is me around because I'm flipping tables.
But y'all, like I said, y'all let us know what y'all think. This was very roller coasterish at the end. Bria's acting a fool. We got 2 new people. I'm ready to feel them out, see what they bring to the table. Simon, let's see if he comes. I'm sure Shanice will be back very soon to try to hook up with somebody. What's the new guy's name again? Jason Run.
She's crazy.
Hot Pocket is coming. But we hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Hope y'all enjoyed the review. Definitely don't forget to like and subscribe. Please leave your comments. We will definitely reply back. Y'all be sure to watch next week's as we will. And we'll definitely, as always, give y'all that review. You have any last words for everybody?
No. All right. Well,
as y'all know, do y'all want to say it? Do you want me to say it? Be safe in these streets.
Bye.